He was average in sports, not very good in sports, and whatever he tried. He failed tests, lost competitions, and sometimes felt embarrassed in front of friends. Slowly, people started saying, Arjun can't do anything right. One day, tired of constant failure, he sat near a pond, feeling broken. An old man passing by saw him and asked, "Why are you crying, son?" Arjun replied, "I fail in everything. Maybe there is something wrong with me." The old man smiled gently and said, "Come, let me show you something." He took Arjun near a tree. The tree had weak roots, bent branches, and marks of storms on its trunk. The old man said, "This tree has faced storms, fallen many times, and bent in strong winds. But every time, it improved itself and stood up again. Falling is not a weakness. Refusing to improve is." Something changed inside Arjun. He realized that real failure is when you stop improving. From that day, he made a new rule for himself. Write down mistakes. Correct them next time. Compete not with others, but with his own yesterday. Months passed. His studies improved. Confidence grew. And people started saying, "Arjun has changed." Arjun smiled and replied, "I didn't change. My attitude did." Moral of the story: failure doesn't defeat you. Quitting does. Every fall is a chance to rise wiser, stronger, and better than before. Once upon a time, in a clear and beautiful lake, lived a small blue fish. She was curious and always wondered about the world around her. Every day she thought, "I wish I could do something big." One day, a big golden fish came to the lake. She swam fast and everyone admired her. The little blue fish felt sad. "I can never be like her," she thought. "I'm too small." Seeing her upset, an old turtle swam near and said, "Everyone has their own talent. Don't compare yourself with others. Look within. You will find your own strength." The little fish listened. From the next day, she practiced swimming in her own style and explored the hidden paths under the water. Soon, she became the smartest and fastest small fish in the lake. One day, a fisherman dropped a net. The big golden fish got trapped. Everyone called the little fish for help. She quickly swam through narrow gaps in the rocks and freed the big fish from the net. Everyone realized being small doesn't mean anything. And discovering your own talent is the greatest strength. Moral of the story: never compare yourself with others. Every individual has a special ability. With effort and confidence, even the smallest one can achieve great things.
Before the magic mirror, jealousy spreading through her heart like a venomous snake. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" Her voice was sharp, with a hint of trembling. The magic mirror flickered, reflecting the queen's distorted face, and also reflecting the deep-seated fear in her heart. "Queen, Snow White is more beautiful than you." The magic mirror's voice was cold and ruthless, like a sharp blade piercing the queen's pride. Jealousy burned in the queen's eyes like a raging fire, her sinister gaze seeming to devour everything. A storm is brewing, and the queen's clenched hands foreshadow the coming darkness. In the dark forest, Snow White ran away like a frightened deer, with the hunter chasing after her. The hunter's footsteps were heavy, the blade in his hand glinting in the sun, but his heart was struggling. "Run, child, run quickly!" The hunter's voice echoed through the forest, carrying a hint of pleading and determination. "The queen wants you dead, but I can't do that." His words tore through the silence of the forest, and also tore through his own soul. Disappear into the forest, and never return. This was his final advice, and also a helpless compromise with fate. Inside the crystal coffin, Snow White is sleeping peacefully, like a withered lotus. The 7 dwarfs gathered around the coffin, sadness like a dark cloud enveloping them. The crystal coffin swayed slightly, and a piece of poisoned apple rolled down as the wheel of fate began to turn. She coughed violently, slowly opened her eyes, and was reborn, radiant. Sun dipped, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Grandma, with her silver hair neatly in a bun and a maroon sari draped elegantly, helped Ria and Arav place glowing diyas along the courtyard steps. Their Indian home sparkled with colorful Rangoli patterns and fragrant marigold garlands. "Grandma, why do we light diyas?" Ria asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. Grandma smiled, her eyes twinkling like the DIYs. "Tonight, I'll tell you the story of Lord Rama," she began, settling into her wooden chair under a hanging lantern. Ria and Arav sat at her feet, their faces lit with wonder. Grandma wove a tale of Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana, their journey through a forest filled with glowing birds. She spoke of the battle with Ravana. Rama's bow aimed true, not with violence, but with heroic resolve. Finally, she described Ayodhya's welcome, the city ablaze with thousands of diyas, celebrating Rama's return. "Diwali is about the victory of light over darkness," Grandma said, "and the joy of coming home." The children, captivated, understood. Diwali was more than just lights. It was a story of courage, love, and homecoming.
जुगनू, जिन्हें अंग्रेजी में फायरफ्लाई कहा जाता है, वास्तव में एक प्रकार के भृंग होते हैं। इनकी सबसे खास बात यह है कि ये अपने शरीर से खूबसूरत हल्की रोशनी उत्पन्न करते हैं। इस रोशनी को बायोल्यूमिनेसेंस कहा जाता है। जुगनू की चमक पूरी तरह ठंडी रोशनी होती है, यानी इसमें गर्मी नहीं निकलती। जुगनू की ये रोशनी मुख्य रूप से साथी को आकर्षित करने, शिकारियों से बचने और आपस में संकेत देने के लिए होती है। जुगनू की लगभग 2000 से ज्यादा प्रजातियां पाई जाती हैं और हर प्रजाति की चमकने की शैली अलग होती है। कुछ जुगनू एक दूसरे की रोशनी से तालमेल बनाकर समूह में एक साथ झिलमिलाते हैं, जो देखने में बेहद सुंदर और अद्भुत लगता है। जुगनू सामान्यतः गर्म और नम वातावरण जैसे जंगल, झीलों के किनारे या घास वाले क्षेत्रों में पाए जाते हैं। जुगनू के बच्चे, लार्वा, भी चमकते हैं और इन्हें ग्लो वर्म कहा जाता है। उनका जीवन चक्र छोटा होता है। वयस्क जुगनू केवल कुछ हफ्तों तक जीवित रहते हैं। आजकल प्रदूषण, रसायनों और तेज कृत्रिम रोशनी की वजह से जुगनू की संख्या लगातार कम हो रही है। जुगनू प्रकृति की एक अनोखी देन है। A sadhu was meditating near a river. A young boy came to him and said, "Baba, my life is full of problems. What should I do?" The sadhu picked up a big stone and gave it to the boy. He said, "Hold this on your head and stand in the river." The boy went into the river with the stone, but after some time he said, "Baba, this stone is too heavy. I can't carry it anymore." The sadhu smiled and replied, "Son, problems are just like this stone. As long as you keep holding them, they will feel heavy. Learn to let them go, and your life will feel light again." The boy understood the lesson, and a peaceful smile appeared on his
lived a tiny, shy mouse named Yong Yong. He hid from others and feared even butterflies. A sneaky fox named Fina scared the smaller animals. The animals were scared but didn't know how to stop her. One morning, the animals gathered to make a plan. Yong Yong listened, thinking, maybe I can help. That night, he had an idea and smiled. He gathered stones, rope, and a big leaf. He made a trap to catch the fox. Fina ran for the stones and tripped into the trap. Yong Yong stepped out. "I did this." He was the bravest, not just the smallest, mouse. In a quiet village lived a cat named Mew who loved to sing. Her dream was to sing on a big stage for everyone. But the village had a rule: no loud sounds. Mew had to sing softly, hiding behind bushes. One evening, a music contest was announced in a nearby town. Mew's heart leaped. This is my chance. She practiced in secret, singing to the wind and stars. On the contest day, she walked to the town square. When it was her turn, Mew sang about dreams and never giving up. The crowd went silent, listening to her heartfelt song. Mew won the contest and sang freely under the stars. Even the elder owl smiled, realizing music isn't so bad.
A mighty lion was sleeping under a shady tree. The little mouse saw the lion's soft fur and thought it would be fun to play. She climbed onto his back and started running and jumping, disturbing the lion's sleep. The lion wakes up angry and starts shouting at the mouse for disturbing his sleep. He wanted to eat the mouse for climbing and playing on his back. But the mouse started apologizing and told the lion she was just playing and didn't mean to wake it, and promised to help it one day. The lion laughed and said, "A little mouse, help me? This is the funniest thing I've ever heard." He let the mouse go for making him laugh. Days have passed since that event. The lion was wandering between the trees, enjoying the warmth and fresh air of the jungle. The lion fell into an ambush set by a group of hunters. The hunters threw ropes at the lion as he struggles, capturing him. As the lion weakened, the hunters cautiously approached, securing the ropes. The lion tried breaking free by cutting the ropes, but all efforts were in vain. The lion roars, trying to shake off the thick ropes, but they were too strong, too resilient. As he was about to give up, he noticed a little mouse approaching him. The mouse began chewing the ropes and cutting them. She cut the ropes and freed the lion. The lion runs back to the jungle before the hunters come back with the cage. Once they got to a safe place, the lion thanked the mouse for his bravery and for helping cut the ropes and freeing him. The lion learned a precious lesson that even the smallest creatures can make a great impact, and bravery isn't measured by size, but by action.
A is for apple, red and round. B is for bee, it buzzes sound. C is for cat, it sneaks around. Sing with me, come along. The alphabet is our happy song. A to Z, we'll learn it strong. D is for dog with a wagging tail. E is for elephant, big as a whale. F is for fish, it swims without fail. Sing with me, come along. The alphabet is our happy song. A to Z, we'll learn it strong. M for moon, it lights the night. S for sun, so warm and bright. Z for zebra, black and white. Sing with me, come along. The alphabet is our happy song. A to Z, we'll learn it strong.
One day, a tiny ant was walking near a pond when it slipped and fell into the water. The poor ant struggled and tried hard to stay afloat, but the water was too deep. A dove sitting on a tree nearby saw the ant fighting for its life. The dove quickly plucked a leaf and dropped it into the water. The ant climbed onto the leaf and safely floated to the shore. It thanked the dove and walked away. A few days later, a hunter came to the forest. He aimed his arrow at the same dove. The ant saw this and immediately understood the danger. It ran as fast as it could and bit the hunter's foot. The hunter jerked in pain, missed his shot, and the dove flew away to safety. The dove had saved the ant, and now the ant saved the dove. Moral: help others and help will come back to you. The dense forest was silent as evening settled in. The only sounds were rustling leaves and distant animal calls. In the shadows roamed a deadly tiger, known by everyone as the Tiger of Darkness. He moved without a sound, appearing suddenly like a ghost among the trees. Meanwhile, a famous hunter, Raghunath, entered the jungle to stop the tiger. For months, the beast had terrified nearby villages. Raghunath walked carefully, hiding behind trees, his gun loaded and hands sweating. Suddenly, a loud rustle came from the bushes. He flashed his torch. 2 glowing eyes stared back at him, accompanied by a deep, heavy breath. The tiger. With a fierce roar, the tiger leaped toward him. Raghunath panicked, but aimed quickly. Bang! 1 shot. The tiger fell to the ground, trembling, then silent. The forest became completely still. Raghunath stepped closer. Hearing the tiger's slow fading breaths, his heart sank. He realized this forest was the tiger's home. Long ago, in a vast green forest surrounded by mountains, lived a large troop of monkeys. They were cheerful, playful, and full of mischief. But above all, they were safe and united because they had a wise, brave, and kind leader, the Monkey King. Life in the forest. The monkeys spent their days leaping from tree to tree, eating fruits, playing near streams, and enjoying the beauty of the jungle. Their king always reminded them, stay together, help one another. Unity keeps us strong. A terrible summer. 1 year, the summer was harsher than ever. The rivers dried up, small ponds disappeared, and the heat made every creature in the jungle restless. The monkeys, too, were extremely thirsty. The little ones cried, and the older monkeys grew weak. The Monkey King gathered them and said, "Don't worry, follow me. We will find water together." After walking for a long time, the monkeys found an old abandoned well. The water inside looked cool and clear. The thirsty monkeys rushed forward to jump in, but the Monkey King shouted, "Stop! Look before you leap. Let me check first." He dropped a stone into the well. Thud! The sound echoed for a long time. The well was extremely deep. The Monkey King noticed claw marks on the inner walls, signs that another animal had once fallen in and died. He turned to his troop and said, "This well will trap you. 1 jump and you will never come out." The monkeys stepped back, shocked and scared. Some monkeys cried, "King, we are too thirsty. We can't walk anymore." The king replied gently, "Sometimes the safe path is long, but it saves lives." He continued leading them through rough paths, rocky hills, and thorny bushes. His hands and feet were scratched, but he kept moving. The river of life. After hours of searching, the king suddenly heard a sound. Splash, splash. He ran toward it, and the monkeys followed him. Through thick trees, they saw a beautiful flowing river. Clear water, cool breeze, shade everywhere. The monkeys screamed with joy. They drank water to their fill and splashed around happily. The king's sacrifice. While everyone enjoyed the river, The king quietly sat behind a rock. His hands were bleeding from removing thorny branches on the way so his troop wouldn't get hurt. When the monkeys saw his wounds, they cried, "You saved us first, but hurt yourself." The king smiled softly and said, "A true leader suffers a little, so his people don't suffer at all." Dripping from the whole forest, animals from across the forest heard what had happened. The deer, the elephants, the birds, the bears. They all came to honor the Monkey King and said, "You are not just a leader. You are a protector." And from that day on, the Monkey King was known as the wisest king of the forest. Moral of the story, a true leader protects others before himself. Quick decisions can be dangerous. Think before you act. Guru Dronacharya wanted to test the focus of his students. He placed a wooden bird on a tree branch and asked each prince to aim at the bird's eye. First Yudhishthir came. Drona asked, "What do you see?" Yudhishthir replied, "I see the tree, the branch, the sky, and the bird." Drona said, "You cannot hit the target. Step aside." Bhim, Nakul, and Sahadev also saw many things, not the target alone. Drona sent them back. Then Arjun came forward. Drona asked, "What do you see?" Arjun said, "I see only the bird's eye." Drona smiled. "Shoot." Arjun released his arrow, and it hit the bird's eye perfectly. Moral: success comes with total focus. Shadow was a stray dog who lived near a construction site. Every day he watched workers come and go, hoping someone would give him food. Most people ignored him, but Shadow never barked, never troubled anyone. He only wagged his tail. One day, a big accident happened. A heavy wooden beam fell, trapping a worker underneath. Everyone panicked. The worker's phone was out of reach, and no one nearby heard his cries. But Shadow did. He ran to the man, barking loudly, trying to pull help toward him. He ran around the site, barking nonstop, until finally the guard came to check. Seeing the man trapped, the guard called the workers, and together they rescued him. The next morning, the worker returned, this time with food, water, and a collar. He smiled and said, "You saved my life. From today, you're my family." Shadow wagged his tail. Finally, he had a home. It was 2 a.m. The wind outside was howling. Arav was sitting alone in his room, scrolling on his phone, when suddenly he heard a soft knock on the door. Tap, tap, tap. He froze. No one was home. His parents had gone to their village. He gathered some courage and asked, "Who's there?" No reply. The knock came again, this time a little louder. Thud, thud. Arav nervously walked to the door and looked through the peephole. There was no one outside, but on the floor, she saw wet footprints leading straight to his door and ending right there. His heart raced. He slowly turned around, and suddenly, from the dark corner of his room, he heard a whisper. "I'm already inside." Orav looked back, trembling. In the pale moonlight from the window, a bent shadow slowly stood up, and its eyes were completely white. Karna was known as Stanvir because he never refused anyone, whatever he had, gold, wealth, horses, even his sacred armor, Kavach Kundal. He gave away without hesitation. His rule was simple. A beggar should never return empty-handed. Even on the day of his death, covered in wounds and lying on the battlefield, he donated his last drop of gold from the soil. His life proved that true greatness lies in giving, not receiving. In a small village lived a boy named Arjun and his dog, Buddy. Buddy wasn't just a pet. He was Arjun's best friend. One day, when Arjun was returning from school, dark clouds covered the sky. Soon, heavy rain started. The road became slippery, and Arjun slipped near the edge of a riverbank. He shouted for help, but no one was close enough to hear. Except Buddy. Buddy heard his cry and ran toward him. Without wasting a moment, he grabbed Arjun's school bag with his teeth and pulled with all his strength. There was once a humble farmer who had 3 sons. The farmer loved them and wanted them to stay united, for he knew that only together could they protect the family and the fields. One morning, he called them and gave each a single stick. "Break this," he said. Each son easily snapped his stick. Then the farmer gathered a bundle of many sticks, tied them together, and handed the whole bundle to them. "Now, break the bundle," he asked. The sons strained and pushed, but the tied bundle would not break. The farmer smiled. "When you stand alone, you are easy to break. But when you stand together, tied like this bundle, you become strong. Help one another, share the work, and protect what's yours." The sons hugged, agreed, and from that day worked side by side. The farm grew, and the family stayed safe, because unity made them powerful. Moral, ekta mein shakti. Strength lies in unity. One late night, Guru Dronacharya was walking through the ashram. All the students were asleep, but he noticed a soft light of a lamp shining from a small hut. Curious, he walked closer and found Arjuna practicing archery alone. Dronacharya asked, "Arjuna, you practice even at this hour? Don't you get tired?" Arjuna bowed and replied, "Guruji, as long as my goal is great, my sleep can be small, and my practice must be big." Hearing this, Dronacharya smiled and said, "Arjuna, this dedication will make you the greatest archer in the world." That night, in the glow of a tiny flame, Arjuna's discipline and greatness were truly born. In a busy Indian city lived a young girl named Anvi. She was a brilliant painter. Colors were her language, and every canvas was a piece of her soul. But the world didn't understand her. People often said, "Painting won't build a future. Do something practical." Even her father wanted her to stop painting and choose a normal life. But Envy's heart whispered, "If art is my identity, how can I abandon it?" The broken dream. One day, a major national art competition was announced. It was a huge opportunity. The winning artwork would be showcased internationally. Anvi decided to participate. She began painting a masterpiece, a young girl walking from darkness into light, symbolizing hope, strength, and courage. It was Anvi's own story. But just when the painting was taking shape, life struck harshly. Her father fell seriously ill. Medical bills increased. Anvi started working part-time after school. Her days were filled with stress. Her nights were full of exhaustion. Slowly, her dream painting remained unfinished. Looking at the half-complete canvas one night, she whispered, "Maybe I'm not meant to achieve big things." Her heart broke a little. A moment of giving up. Only 3 days were left before the competition. Anvi had decided not to participate. That night, she sat on the rooftop crying silently. Her father walked up slowly, weak but gentle. He said softly, "Do you know why I scolded ye about painting?" Anvi looked away. Her father sighed. "Because I was scared. Scared that the world would hurt ye. Scared that your dreams would break your heart." He held her hand. "But today I realize something. I was the one stopping ye." A tear rolled down Anvi's cheek. Her father continued, Your painting isn't just art, it is your strength. Finish it, me child. Don't leave your dreams incomplete. Those words lit a fire in her heart. Starting again, that very night, Envy picked up her brushes again. Though exhausted, running low on sleep, balancing job, studies, and pain, she painted, one stroke at a time, one color at a time. She worked for 3 nights straight, pouring her heart into the canvas. When she finally placed the last stroke, it wasn't just a painting. It was her victory. The competition day. The exhibition hall was bright and crowded. When Envy's painting was revealed, a glowing artwork, a girl walking toward light, hope shining in her eyes. The hall fell silent. People stared with admiration. A judge asked, "What is the title of this painting?" Envy smiled and said, "No longer unfinished." The audience applauded loudly. Envy won first place. Her painting was sent abroad. She became one of the city's youngest celebrated artists. But to her, the biggest victory was not the award. It was the moment she proved to herself, if you don't quit, the world cannot stop you.